This year it's gonna happen. I got you. Alright, let's go.
Good. Okay, we'll call this meeting of the Jamestown City Council Monday, July 14th work session to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Sheldon.
Here.
Brackman.
Here.
Pettiniti.
Here.
Reynolds.
Present.
Faulkner.
Here.
Ronfiglio.
Here.
Diversa.
Here.
Russell.
Here.
And President.
Here, thank you. This time we'll give opportunities for people to speak to the council. If you'd like to address the council, please give your name and address and limit your remarks to 5 minutes. Anybody want to speak? All right, there you go. Moving on, we'll move on to housing first. You want to give us a recap?
Thank you, Mr. President. We started out with no public comment, but then Ms. Margaret Conley of Fulton Street came in and just voiced her concern about a relationship with some tenants, some of it being civil, some of it being landlord issues. So we listened to her, and then she also came and commented at public safety about some of the response times and the ups and downs of being in that neighborhood, I guess, with an ongoing, I guess you'd call it a feud with some neighbors. So that was our only public comment. We had Casey Falk with us and from DOD, and explained that there's discussion starting regarding some zoning changes in an area over by Jackson Taylor Park. Specifically, I guess I'll try to put the coordinates out from West 6th Street where the exercise place is, and up that area of Monroe, down to the Riverwalk, down to some of the old neighborhood streets there, down all the way to 11th Street, where the streets used to go down, Jefferson, Monroe, Lafayette, and then over toward Isabel. So there's a map that's available for seeing what changes the Department of Government is asking for. And the logic behind that is they want to repurpose some of those lots and some of the vacant warehouses that are down there. It was suggested by Councilman Sheldon to also, in looking at those lots, to decrease the minimum size. So you don't need to utilize an 8,000 square foot lot when maybe you could get away with 5,000. So to repurpose some of that property down there. The existing code can be found in our E-code program online, and then the changes, you'd have to get with Casey or Crystal regarding the actual changes for what she'll be presenting to the Planning Commission here tomorrow, I think you said. So it's open for discussion on what maybe some of these places could be turned into, what some investments might be available to investors and developers to utilize some of this property that's sitting idle and vacant. Also, Ms. Falk mentioned that she has submitted the 5-year consolidated plan and the annual action plan with HUD, and no red flags came up in return. So
Not yet.
good job on that submitting of that. Also, there was quite a few percentages from the 23 surveys that were sent in from the public, and I wrote a handful of them down. I'll read them real quick. 82% of the respondents didn't think there's enough jobs, and that was something that was a concern. 65% would like to see new opportunities. And then with safety, 52% felt very safe in their homes and neighborhoods. 15% felt partially or mostly safe in their neighborhoods, and the rest just aren't comfortable with some of those neighborhoods in their areas. A big one was 65% of the parks, respondents mentioned that the parks are a real plus for our community. And I'll second that because we have a park system that's second to none as far as I'm concerned. And it's good to see that there was a positive reinforcement from the people that surveyed. New contracts went out, Casey, I lost track on, you're hoping to get 2 properties condemned and reworked and resold and given to investors, maybe?
Close. Our vacant rental improvement program through Homes and Community Renewal. I signed our first contracts with homeowners the other day. So we can start on 2 rehabilitation projects for 2 housing units. And then there's a second property owner that is being awarded as well. So it'll uncondemn a few units and get them in the hands of responsible renters.
Great, thank you. It's good to see some action in that area of housing.
What do they purchase price for condemned houses?
These are already owned homes,
okay.
So they have to be vacant for a certain amount of time, they have to have been owned for a certain amount of time. You can submit a waiver, so maybe we see an uptick here soon, with people applying from old acquisitions, that they may have gotten themselves into. It could be a condemned unit that the, mom and pop property owner can't afford to get back online, so that's more of the target audience that we're.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I have a question real quick. Is there some activity going on down at the old M&M? I saw people going in and out.
Yeah, they got a new owner, and they are working on, they've got a business plan. I can, tomorrow, if you wanna reach out to Eiley, our economic development
Sure.
coordinator, she'll have more information on that for you.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. That's good news.
Yeah,
I think they're out of Erie, is that correct?
I think so.
Yes.
That was pretty much it for housing, and thank you, Casey, for representing the department.
All right, move on to finance, Brent.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had 10 resolutions. The first is there's a 125 consolidated funding application. We'll be submitting. The Regional Economic Development Council is launching a $7 million grant to create economic impact and increase visitation downtown and certified pro-housing communities, which Jamestown is. That was approved. Second is another 2025 consolidated funding application. A new grant to the Empire State Development in partnership with New York State Homes and Community Renewal. A $4.2 million grant for the New York Main Street program to invest in communities in economic developments and housing opportunities downtown and certified for housing communities. And that was approved. We'll hopefully get both of those. Part of the agreement. The next is the mayor is authorized to execute a quick claim deed on property located at 513 Windsor Street. That has been designated a 19A property to the Jamestown Urban Renewal Agency for the purpose of sale to an individual. Councilman Dulce is very familiar with this property. It's been vacant for a number of years and happy to see that it's moving on. That was approved. Next is the Chautauqua applied for state funding under the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services GIVE Grant Program for 2025. And a portion of the grant is going to be shared with the City of Jamestown Police Department in the amount of $309,985.00. Substantial grant that was approved. Next 3 resolutions. Next 2. Spending some of that money here, suspending the hiring freeze and hiring 1 full-time crime analyst position in the Jamestown Police Department, which this position's been vacant for a while. Correct, it's been vacant. That was approved. Okay. That was approved. Next is spending the hiring freeze and hiring 1 full-time GIVE coordinator position in the Jamestown Police Department. Grant is going to be paying for that as well. That was approved. Next is spend the hiring freeze and hire 2 police officers for the Jamestown Police Department due to the 2 2 officers left and became chiefs in other areas and created movement upwards, creating 2 vacancies. That was approved. The next was authorizing officers Justin Conti, Mark Conklin, and Caitlin Fromber to attend the International Homicide Seminar to be held at the Crown Plaza Desmond Hotel in Albany, New York, from September 21st through September 26th, 2025, with all expenses paid for by the Stock County District Attorney's Office. And that was approved. The next is authorized to execute an agreement with Premier Concrete and Landscapes of Western York, Buffalo, New York, for ADA sidewalk ramps 2025, based on the opening on July 9th, 2025. For assorted concrete flat work, curb and gutter, 158 little cast iron warning plates, patching, manhole resets, and some brick pavement. They were the lowest of 2 bidders at $192,950.02. Mark, have we worked with this company before?
No,
Yeah, they were about $100,000 lower than the other bidders. So.
They had references from the city of Buffalo and city of Depew that we checked in on. They had good reviews of them, so.
Good. Hopefully bid on more work in the future. That was approved. And lastly, we have a resolution that the mayor was authorized to execute an agreement with Estabone Construction of Virginia, New York, for concrete work, street reconstruction 2025 Stowe Street, Buffalo Street and Hitch Street. Again, for some flat work, any kind, concrete curb and gutter, repair, warning plates, excavation, binder course, and landscape restoration, in the amount of $195,512.50. This is for the CHIPS fund. And they were the only bidder on that one. That was approved. Earl said that she is keeping the ARPA projects on track. There's one that has to be spent down here in the next 16 months, 18 months. Working with the departments on that. And also she's working on a template for the 2026 budget. Working with different departments and seeing what their needs are and where they are with their spending for this year. That's all we have.
Just a quick question on the cast iron plates. I know they're doing the one on Lakeview and Buffalo, or Lakeview and Sixth. But they did, the one down the street on 8th Street is bad as well. They're gonna do that one.
That, I'm not sure if that's what it
Why were those plastic? They're just-
is. Well, we used to do for,
Not plastic, but whatever.
yeah, they're not plastic. The idea behind them is they're replaceable easier, but they're really not. So we've gone to using only cast iron because they last longer.
Right. I know, that one on 8th and Lakeview was just as bad as the one on
Especially in places where the sidewalk plows go, the plastic ones get destroyed pretty quickly.
I was gonna remind you that when this came up, I saw it. The one right there, the apartment. Thank you. We'll move on to public safety. Jeff?
Thank you, Mr. President. We had 5 resolutions that also appeared on finance. The first one is for the mayor and police chief to participate and give from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. And that amount is $309,980. Like I said, it appeared on the finance agenda and that passed. The second resolution resolved Jamestown City Council suspends the hiring freeze and hires the one full-time crime analyst in the police department, which is gonna be paid by that grant money, and that passed. The third resolution was for the one full-time GIV coordinator position in the police department, also being paid for by the grant funding, and that passed. The fourth resolution was for the hiring of the 2 police officers, the Jamestown Police Department that was on the agenda. That brings the police department from 57 officers to 59, which I can tell you is too low. And the chief, said that he's struggling with a civil service list with qualified candidates, on that list. So I'm assuming he's gonna have to wait until the next civil service list comes out, with viable candidates, on that list, just to fill these two positions that you're asking for, unless you find lateral transfers. Is that correct, Chief?
That's correct.
Okay. So that passed for the hiring of two, and the last resolution was to send the officers Justin Conti, Mark Conklin, and Caitlin Fromber to the International Homicide Seminar from September 21st through September 26th. That appeared on the finance agenda. That passed. Can never have enough training, so it's good to see officers still going to trainings like that. And then we had a number of special events. The first event was for Saturday, July 19th, 2025, and Sunday, July 20th, 2025, from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m., including setup and tear down on Lafayette Street between 2nd and 3rd. That's for the Scandinavian Folk Festival. That passed. And the next special event was Vacation Bible School Outreach, to be held on Saturday, July 26, 2025, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., including setup and tear down at Jackson Taylor Park, and that passed as well. The next event, and there was representatives from the Comedy Center, was for the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival, to be held on Saturday, August 9th, 2025, to Sunday, August 10th, 2025, from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m., including setup and tear down on 2nd Street between Jefferson and Washington Street, and August 8th, 2025 to August 11th, 2025, from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m., including setup and tear down on the east lane of Jefferson Street between 2nd and 3rd Streets. Also, a notation, it's requested that music be played until 11 p.m. on Saturday, August 9th, 2025. And like I said, there was representatives here if we had any questions, and that passed. The next special event was the downtown Jamestown Cruise-In, to be held on Friday, August 15th, 2025, from 3 p.m. until 11 p.m., including setup and tear down on 3rd Street between Washington and Spring Streets, Cherry Street between 2nd and 4th Streets, and Main Street between 2nd and 4th Streets, and Pine Street between 2nd and 4th Street. That event was originally, and the mayor can maybe chime in on this, was probably not going to happen. They were looking for someone to take it over, and Wicked Warrens rose to the occasion along with CHQ, and they're going to be keeping that event alive, which it's always a great event. It's awesome to see that event continue. So that passed. So our appreciation to both of those entities. Go eat at Wicked Warren and enjoy some food. Block party on Peterson Street from Scioto to Benedict Streets on July 3rd, 2025, from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. And this block party was already electronically approved. And the last block party was 3rd Street from Cook to Lakin Avenue on August 9th, 2025, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. We tabled this. There's some concerns about a major thoroughfare like 3rd Street being shut down on a Saturday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. So we wanted to discuss it more. There was recommendations about possible signage, advising motorists that it was closed before they got down there. And then we also wanted to maybe talk to Mark more about our concerns about blocking a major street off like that for that length of time. So that was tabled for further discussion. And the last was the zoning change discussion, which we already spoke about, and there'd be further discussions with full council. So, that's all we had.
They had that block party, block that street out before.
Not that I recall.
No.
I've never heard
That's why I
being
didn't.
closed.
Parade with the
Yeah, I mean, it's a block party.
Had they been moved to a side street on those sides?
Well, that's what we were discussing about maybe recommending they pick a side street, you know.
There's also that church.
Yeah, there's churches there. I'm concerned about, you know, if there's fire trucks that need to get somewhere, there's police cars or ambulances that need to get somewhere, and that's closed off, so.
When's the Hunter Street party? When's the,
August 23rd, 10th.
next month, we get to All right, we'll move on to Public Works. Randy?
Thank you, Mr. President. We did have a member of the public speak, and it was Legislature Nelson, who is, he has a concern about, is it possible to install signage on May and Camp Streets near Rogers School, reminding dog owners to clean up after their pets. And he says he walks his dog there nearly every day and always makes a point to clean it up himself. And unfortunately, not everyone does the same. And he believes that signage could be a helpful reminder. And also mentioned additionally, if a dog waste dispenser similar to the one near the Allen Park band shell could be a valuable addition. And given the number of families who attend soccer games there regularly, could be appreciated if something like that happened. And we had discussed and like Mark alluded to, that we generally don't put them up on traveled streets. There are parks is where you find the waste bags and the signs. So we will look into that some more.
How about the school system?
Yeah, that's school property.
Is it?
I think that some of the schools have them, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, some must.
So I wonder if, like, reaching out to like Carl Pelletieri or, you know, the school.
Is that what you're
maintenance-
talking about, Mr. Nelson, is
Yeah,
the school
right.
property?
Yeah, but it feels like a park with all the kids playing
Right,
soccer.
they use it for soccer.
And I drove
Right.
over tonight and I saw all the kids over there and I know they're running through. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that'd
think
be, might be,
BOCES, Tony BOCES is there doing anything. I don't know if there's any Jamestown Public Schools doing anything there right now. I know BOCES is.
well, I mean, it's the school property. It's
Yeah,
their
school
buildings.
property, but you
Yeah,
can get, maybe
I think they're
one or
just-
the other, both of them to do
Yeah.
something.
I'm just trying to think, I can't remember if there's any at Wash School. I thought there was, but I'm not 100% sure. Have you seen one there? I guess I didn't notice it, but I don't know if any of the other schools have them. Maybe something to touch base with the superintendent's office or Carl Pelletieri to see if, I mean, because a lot of the schools are used for like football and
Oh, yeah.
practices and soccer and all kinds of things. And I mean, they're parks basically too, you know, but just a thought.
Okay. We did have two resolutions that were mentioned in finance with the ADA sidewalk ramps installation and curb and gutter work on Stowe Street from Buffalo to Ridge Street. And those were approved, and they, again, it mentioned that it was through CHIPS funding. Okay. So they were approved, and it was also discussed that we're happy to say that the so-called emergency paving on East Second Street is complete, and it looks pretty good, and I know it's gonna make a lot of the traveling motorists happy. And they did all of the westbound lane milled and paved, not curb to curb, but the actual driving lane. And the eastbound lane, where the worst spots were milled and paved, and the rest of it was patched. So it's a welcoming sight until they complete the major project next year. The middle or end of next year should be complete. So we're happy over that. Nova, they, as far as other projects, the Nova chip and the oil and stone is complete. Paving is still in progress. And as a reminder to people, on the City of Jamestown's website, they do list at the beginning of the week, the weekly projects are listed where construction is going to be. Kind of helps people out, and I know some people utilize that. And the last thing we talked about, as mentioned before, the Foot Avenue mill and pave, which is going to be at the end of Washington Street Bridge all the way to the city line. It's got pushed back to August due to scheduling with the major paving company. So that got pushed back a little bit, but we can expect to see that done also, which is nice. But other than that, that's all we have.
Mark, other than the other projects that you mentioned, are we pretty much on track for the summer?
Yeah, we have, two major reconstructions that we're hoping to finish this year, Barrows from Lynn to English, and then Strong Street from Prendergast to Lakeview. We have quite a few streets left to mill and pave, but a lot of the outside companies have come and done, like Chip Seal and Nova Chip, they've come in and completed their work already.
What about the status of the Purcell School safety issues?
So we're hoping to start that prep work for the sidewalk this week or early next week. The county's gonna help us with the guide rail.
Okay.
So, the contractor will come in and pour the sidewalks, and then the county's gonna help us put in the guide rail. The guide rail should be delivered at the end of the month, I think.
So it should be all set by the school.
Should be.
By school.
Is the school district still assisting with that? Okay.
Yep.
We'll have to
Yeah,
go.
I've been keeping the superintendent up to date, so.
Very good.
Okay.
That's it for the committees. Mayor?
I only have one thing. I wanted to give you an update. I know it's been a while since we've updated on grants. I'll give you some numbers. Since 2021, we have received $62,274,950.59 in grants. The most recent ones we got that you guys have approved recently, I just wanted to remind you of and thank Paula and the team for the hard work, was the Ralph Wilson Design and Access funding of $20,000 for the disc golf, $18,000 for Allen Park Band Shell, the Big Strive grant, which JPD is receiving almost $310,000, and then the Give 12, which is very significant, of JPD receiving again almost $310,000. So those are the big recent ones, and we also have 15 pending. So more to be heard. Those are definitely things that we've all heard and talked about, things such as the roof at the Fenton and so many other things. So we will keep you posted as we hear. And that's it.
That's it. Any executive session?
No,
None?
not tonight.
Just a reminder that, was there any other thing?
Yes,
Go ahead.
Mr. President. It's kind of new business, but same old problem. Nationwide, I know you're tired of hearing this. Price of gas is $3.11 nationwide. The average price is $3.11. The New York State is $3.21, and Jamestown sitting at $3.39 forever. It's ridiculous. It's I don't know how they can do it, but they can do it legally apparently. But people should complain. Keep complaining, because that's when they listen to you. I'm gonna keep bringing it up too till I see it go down. But it's ridiculous that we're 18 cents higher, sometimes 25 cents higher than any surrounding areas, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anything else? Just a couple reminders. We do not meet next week, and we'll have our voting session on the 28th And I believe there are gonna be 2 public hearings.
Correct.
So one will be at 6:30, one at 6:45. The 6:30 is
That will be our local law.
the local law, and then the 6:45 is the zoning.
Mhm.
Right. Change that we're looking at, so you'll get reminders of that when your agendas come out, just be here a little earlier that night. Anything else?